Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to look at the first of I'm probably going to cover Crash Course more often. But this is the first episode of Crash Course that I am covering on this channel, specifically because I'm looking at medieval stuff, and this one covers some medieval Islamic world. In this case, this is episode 7 of Crash Course Science, done about 4 years ago. The host is Hank Green. Crash Course in general is done by the two major founders, which are the brothers Green, Hank and John. Both are which are authors, but Hank has a tendency to cover the science stuff. And I will link the entire Crash Course. I think this is the history of science. Let me double check here. No, this is the history of science. So I will link this episode, and then I'll do another link to the entire series, which I can highly recommend. So this is about a 13-minute video that talks about the science going on in the medieval Middle East, the Islamic world. And it's really, really interesting. Seriously. One of these days I'll have to look into what the heck happened in the Middle East and why on earth it became such a mess. But this is part of almost the golden age of the Islamic world. During this time, Hank talks about how they were having these giant libraries doing tons of translations of various different texts. They're studying engineering, creating the start of algebra. They brought over apparently the Indian numeral system and used it and transformed it enough that it is our number system. It is now what we consider the Arabic number system. This is what we use. They were creating automatons. Now, if you're not familiar with what an automaton is, it's a medieval robot. Normally, it's run by steam and water, quite often. To get they're automatons. They're medieval robots. They're just run by a different source. They were studying astronomy. They discovered pretty much calculated the circumference of the Earth. Our current one is not far off at all. It's I think he said 2% off on the accuracy of what they figured out back in the Middle Ages in, I believe it was Iran. No, actually it was Iraq. But nonetheless, this was an amazing time in this world where they are creating and learning and translating all sorts of different texts. Yes, some of it was religious based, but they were also learning about it and formulating different ideas. Again, you really have some of the basics of modern math. I believe they created trigonometry during this time period and algebra. So this is an extremely interesting video. It's not that long. It's only about 13 minutes. But if you're looking for something that's going to give you a major introduction to some of what's going on in the Islamic world during this time period in the realms of math and science and astronomy. Yes, they're also studying astrology, but again, that's how they believe these stars were affecting humans. But they were also studying astronomy. And yes, they did understand the Earth was round. For people who believe the Earth is flat, this is a new thing. The idea of the Earth being flat it's a really, really new thing. We've known the Earth's been around for a very, 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 very long time. But the fact that they calculated it to such a degree that our accuracy has not moved much. It's the decimal points here. So they got it pretty accurate. It's an amazing thing. I love the way Hank Green presents. This was actually the history of science was actually probably the first video series that I watched when it came to Crash Course. I now follow a lot of them along with some of the other PBS episodes. I cover Monstrum, which is kind of interconnected to these guys a little bit as well. So, but this is an interesting series. This is specifically a very interesting episode where they're looking at this, and it's amazing what they knew and what they were discovering at this time. So that's really it for this video. Hopefully I will cover more Crash Course later on as the channel evolves when I find a use for them. I will link this episode. I will also link the entire playlist for Crash Course History of Science, even though it's a little bit older. Highly recommend Crash Course in general. They're a great resource. But this series and this episode specifically is really, really interesting. And of course, it's really well done. The Brothers Green are highly reliable and for all sorts of subjects. And so this is a great online source that I cannot recommend enough. So that is it for this review. If you like what you see, be sure to check out the rest of the channel. This is an unusual video. Normally I cover book and film reviews. It's just I'm doing some medieval castle stuff. So this happened to fit into what I was doing. I think this is going again opposite, I think, Tamora Pierce stuff. Probably. So yes, I'm covering the Song of the Lioness Quartet, and I'm going to be covering the Immortals Quartet not long after that. Then I'm jumping into Owls and covering the Guardians of Ga'Hoole. And then I'm going back to Maid Cabot because I've covered the Princess Diaries this year, along with, of course, other various subjects, LGBTQ, Caribbean history, Jewish history is being covered this year. I have a lot of stuff coming. I'm probably going to continue to cover book series as well as the other stuff. So I would highly recommend, obviously, like and subscribe, leave a positive comment if you have one, if you're looking for a channel that is very, very consistent. Books come out at 8 a.m. on Mondays. Films or media like this come out at 8 a.m. Fridays. I normally have a minimum of 2 videos every week. Always. This is being filmed in December of 2022. So, I'm mostly through April as of right now of 2023 and getting further. So, again, thank you for watching, and like and subscribe. Thank you.